I do find the thing interesting of like that things about Hollywood tend to not do well with people who aren't involved in the film industry. Like the general public are not really interested in things about Hollywood. Because I find that interesting because I fucking love things about, like, if it's a film shot about a film set, I'm like, fucking, I'm in.
There was a movie that... What's her name? Like, you really want her to be a lesbian and she's not.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yes. I love that you got that. Yes, Aubrey Plaza did a film called Black Bear, I think.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
I've got it on my watch list.
So good.
Right, okay.
It was really good. And it is super like meta-y because it's like a film about a film being made about a film being made. Or like, it, you know, it's... And it was really, really good. And there's... I don't know. I think that people would still like that even if they're not of this world, because there was a lot of it that was like a bit mind-bendy and a bit... And so I think people would have had enough in it to still find it interesting. But like as a crew member, I just loved it. And you can identify what everyone's role is really well. And I feel like a lot of the time, like there's a series that came out recently about crew working, and I haven't seen it. I really want to see it. But someone said to me, I think obviously because I am an AD, I think they were like, oh, you're not going to like the depiction of ADs because that it's just not good. It's not accurate as to what we do. And, you know, like, and that was kind of a bummer. Whereas this film, I knew every single person and what they did. They didn't need to spell it out. And like, it was so good. So like, yeah, I don't know. There are some really good industry, you know, films or series out there. But yeah, they don't do very well.
That is interesting, isn't it?
And I think actually that Black Bear, that was really beautifully made. It wasn't just like I was liking it because I was like, oh yeah, it's me. It's my friends. Like, it was just a really well-made film.
I do think it's interesting. It's like, like, are we just so like wrapped up in our own little... I think part of it is, I think the perception of what the film industry is like if you've never worked on a film set before to what it's actually like if you're working in it are like two completely different things, I think, to a lot of people. I think most people... I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I think most people do think it's kind of a glamorous job. It's kind of like... maybe some people don't even really see it as like proper work and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like... But for the people who actually work in the film industry, they know how hard it can be and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not like... Obviously everyone has hard jobs, so I'm not like, you know... But like... I'm not saying woe is us in the film industry that we have it hard, but like, I do think there's maybe a different perception of like what the reality of actually working on films is compared to what people think it is. So then when people make stuff about how difficult it is to work on set or how, you know, or those kind of things, people are like, oh, shut up, you're working in films. It's like, it's fun and easy, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe there's that. That's maybe why they don't play as well. I'm just guessing, but...
Yeah, I think so. And I think from our perspective, those oeuvres are... We like them because it feels like validation or something in a way. And it actually, there's been moments where I've tried to show my mum things to be like, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, it just, no matter how I try and describe it, it doesn't quite cut the mustard. And there was a commercial recently that a friend of mine produced with his production company for the UK Film and TV charity.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing it?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
a oneer.
Yeah.
And it's really, really intense. And it was so good. And I cried watching it because it follows a runner around. And the premise of it is like, look after each other, basically. And like, look after yourself. And because a lot of the time when you're on set and, you know, people are tired, people are stressed, like, you know, everyone's like thinking bottom line, and sometimes people get caught in the crossfire of that, and people aren't always treated like people. And it seemed almost a little bit ridiculous, like all of the stuff that happens to this runner in the space of like 90 seconds and the way people were talking to him and things like that. But every single thing that happened to him,
I've seen happen
or has happened to me when I was a runner.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I cried watching it because I was like, oh my God, this is like one of the best representations of film sets that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, we're very lucky. We're very blessed to do what we do. It is an absolute privilege. And we've both worked very hard to be where we are. But most of the time it is an absolute joy. I had a moment on set 2 months ago. I was doing something with Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
And I just started crying because I was so happy. I was like, I can't believe this is my job. I'm so lucky. But there is a lot of it that I wish that my friends...
I got paid to watch a football match.
Yeah. But sometimes I wish that people knew what it was like. And because all people see on the outside is like, you get a lot of time off. And then when you are working, you kind of just don't really answer your phone all day. And that's kind of all they see.
Yeah.
And so
And actually those moments where we do feel like, and we're not moaning, but where we do feel like that's a win, you know, like the football thing or like the like they don't happen that often. Like,
no.
Do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, I just don't think people realise what, and I think it's a fault of the industry in part because they do. There's a lot of the sort of the only things the public really see, unless they're the kind of people that are watching making of documentaries on DVDs of films and stuff, which even then are like obviously nicely put together so it doesn't make it look like it was a horrible film to work on.
Even behind the scenes are going to be heavily... They're not going to show that no one put weights on the easy up so it blew away.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that, like, the runners didn't change the bins and then they split and went...
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to see that stuff because we don't show it.
You know, I think that the public's perception of film is very polished because all they see is that stuff, premieres, award shows, and then the films themselves. And it's like... You're not seeing the runner having to do all this crap and being treated badly and paid poorly and, you know, all that stuff.
Or like the lighting van showed up late and so then the, you know, electrical were behind, which then meant like the SFX set for too long. And so then they're pissed off because like, there's so much that isn't shown. But then I think it's like giving birth in the way that like it can be so incredibly stressful and terrible and painful and like you just want to quit and cry, but then you finish and you wrap and then like in the days that follow you're like, oh yeah, really lovely career actually, that was really lovely shoot. And you like totally forget all about it. And so I think like this film, The Bubble, that end bit where they're all doing the press and they're like, oh my god, hi, how are you? And it's like, it is kind of like that because you just forget, you get like the adrenaline is gone, you get that rush is gone, and then you're just sort of left with like... do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, I get it.
It's quite well done, I think.
Have you ever watched there's a documentary, I think that was on the DVD when it came out, of The Social Network, but you can find it on YouTube. And it's like an hour long. And that, I don't know who made that and like how it got put on, like how it got released, because it makes it look like a nightmare. Like, I
mean, it probably was.
It doesn't make David Fincher look like a fun man to work with. Like, you see him berating like boom ops and like all sorts of things. Like it's really like who put this out? It's an interesting watch though. You should watch it. And The Social Network's like an incredibly well made film, but like I'd recommend seeking that out because it is like really interesting how much they've included that you would have thought like that's never getting put in the marketing material of this film. But it might, if you don't work on a film set and it might give you a good idea of like what it is like sometimes.
Also, watch that UK Film and TV charity one-shot video. It's not very long.
It's like 4 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was I thought it was great. But again, it's fairly bleak, and look, it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
We're very lucky to do what we do, and most of the time, it's great.